Aaron Rodgers. He gets his payback against the Jets in game one. It was a hell of a game. I thought him and Justin Fields both played well. To me, it was kind of a win-win for both franchises. But Aaron Rodgers, I know they asked him post-game, like, did it feel a little better knowing it was against the Jets? And he basically said, yeah, considering how everything went down. But I just want to get your take on how A-Rod looked, threw for 4 touchdowns, no interceptions. What's your take?
It's interesting because I've been a very loud and vocal public critic of A-Rod. Mm-hmm. So I'm a fair evaluator. I thought he played excellent. And starting with his body language, I thought his body language was as good as I've seen it since he left Green Bay. Like, even because this wasn't a game where the Steelers were up. I don't know how many people watched this game. They were down 14 in the second half. Mm-hmm. But his body language was positive. Even though they struggled at times early, he kept leading the team, and he made the throws when he had to make them. He was accurate. He had zip on the ball. He still can't move, but I thought he looked as close to prime Aaron Rodgers as we've seen since he left Green Bay. Now, the big takeaway from the outside of what you mentioned, too, Justin Fields did play really good, and I think that's going to be a good fit with the personnel that the Jets have. But the big takeaway was, where in the hell was this Pittsburgh defense? They were bad.
I
know. They couldn't stop the run. They couldn't. The pass game got behind them a couple times. Like, they didn't play that great on defense. I know Tomlin will get it fixed, but big picture for the Steelers, they got to get better defensively. But
and DK dropped the crossing route that could have been a big, huge play early on. Great ball in front, on time. He dropped that ball.
He made up for like the next play though, didn't he?
Yeah, he made some good.
He has some after catches.
He's a freak after the ball's caught. That's what his thing is, and you don't want to tackle him. So he looked like a man amongst boys running down the sideline. Here's my take: attitude reflects leadership. At the end of the day, Aaron Rodgers, to Shaun's point, looked different than he did under Robert Saleh, eating the crow and talking about the eagle. Because at the end of the day, Mike Tomlin demands that you're this way, and that's the culture that's set there. In New York, when he went there, in fairness, he became a quarterback under a new head coach. Let's be honest. And a regime there that's just bad culture. So, again, Justin Fields played his ass off. I said he would be better this year. I think he is. I know a guy that's helping him with mechanics. He's gotten better. He looked better. The throws he made were better. He threw the deep ball well on time. Like, Justin Fields looked like a big-time NFL quarterback yesterday in all aspects, in my opinion. He held the ball a couple times, but other than that, I mean, that's going to be first game, first year OC with him, all the things. So I'm optimistic with them scoring 32 points game one, which they could not do really with Aaron Rodgers. The offense looked like it was flowing versus how it looked with Aaron Rodgers.
It was scary. Every time they had a possession, like, if you're a Steelers fan, you had to be on your toes. You're like, man, I don't know.
Here's again, this is my point too to Shaun. Aaron Rodgers was coming into a franchise that Tomlin hired the OC. Tomlin hired the staff. Tomlin made the trades. It wasn't Aaron Rodgers hiring the OC. Aaron Rodgers bringing in Devontae Adams. Aaron Rodgers bringing in his homeboys Cobb and fucking all these other guys. No, this is my way or highway. You can come to here if you want. If not, we didn't panic. You never saw panic out of Mike Tomlin in the whole offseason that we did a show debating if Aaron Rodgers was going to be the quarterback for the Pittsburgh Steelers or not. You never heard Tomlin over there like, oh, fuck, I don't know what I'm going to do if I don't get Aaron Rodgers. Like, this is what leaders do. They create more leaders, not more followers. And this is clearly attitude reflect leadership. I don't think Aaron Rodgers, I think you're going to see the most grounded Aaron Rodgers that we'll see at an age of 41 years old. Now, having said that, real quick, him stepping into the pocket, him doing other things, you can tell he's 41, though. He's not the explosive, climb the pocket quick, those things are not there anymore. So he's not the same, of course. But I agree with Shaun. He looked about as well. He looked about as good of Aaron Rodgers as you can look after we've seen 2 bad years in New York.
And you know what? It speaks to the quality of the people in Pittsburgh.
100%.
You know, Rodgers left Green Bay, and as JP just eloquently stated, all the things that he had control of going to New York, you can tell there's a trust that exists between Mike Tomlin and Aaron Rodgers that started on draft day. Obviously, the Steelers and Rodgers had an unspoken agreement that Rodgers was going to be the quarterback. The Steelers, it took a lot of wherewithal now to pass on certain quarterbacks multiple times in that draft. they showed trust to Aaron. Guess what? Aaron showed up for the offseason program in Pittsburgh. It wasn't like New York where he had vacations planned and, he missed this and that. So I think the whole organization and Aaron are reaping the benefits of that, at least in week 1 offensively. We'll see if it's sustainable.
Now, it's respect all across the board. And just another note, not just on Aaron Rodgers, but the Steelers in general, that their new acquisitions all made plays that game. That's one of the biggest things that I noticed. Obviously, we saw the game-winning, tackle at the end by Jalen Ramsey when he hit Gary Wilson and made him drop that ball. We saw Jonnu Smith, who they picked up, this offseason, scored a touchdown. DK Metcalf, who we already talked about. That's what I said. Jalen Ramsey with the big-time hit at the end. DK Metcalf, made some big-time catches, especially on that one last drive where the ball bounced around and fell on his lap. So my point is all the acquisitions that they made plays. So that was one of the biggest things that I saw. But to Shaun's point here, bigger point is the defense do got to figure it out, though, because I don't know if we shouldn't expect Aaron Rodgers to put up 34 points a game. You know what I'm saying? Like, he is 40-some years old. There's going to be some games probably where he's not looking that good. 4 touchdowns, no picks. So the Steelers need to get back to what the Steelers do. And if they can do that, this is going to be a very scary team, man, come playoffs.
Yeah, they got to shore up the defense. I don't know. I don't know if they can. I don't know if they have the pieces. Cam Hayward re-signed. That helped out, but he is 38 years old. I don't know how good they can get to. Patrick Queen, is helping out, but they lack some things. I think their secondary. We'll ask Edub here when Shaun leaves in about 5 minutes, but it's going to be interesting. I still pick the Steelers, and I know Edub's going to disagree because I think the Steelers' path is a lot easier than the Ravens' path in the NFC and the AFC North. Like the Steelers have the easiest schedule amongst schedules. If you want to say it, I hate using that term, easy schedule in the NFL. Shaun could tell you, and I'm sure Edub will say there's no easy games in the NFL. But at the same time, the Steelers have the least path of resistance compared to a Ravens team. Ravens got the Chiefs, the Eagles. I mean, Ravens have some big time opponents.
By the way, what a meltdown last night! Good God.